Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Welcome or welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm gonna make or attempt to make pita bread. I've never done pita bread before, but I figured I might as well film it for everyone to see. So hopefully it comes out right. I mean, if not, then I guess we're just gonna be eating like flatbreads. I saw a TikTok last week of someone making like a chicken salad and they put it in a pita, and I was like, oh my God, that sounds so good. And I've been wanting to have chicken salad for a while. So I figured, let me show you guys how I do my chicken salad, and then we will experiment making pita breads together. I do have my Instant Pot, which I'm gonna use to pressure cook my chicken. I've had that Instant Pot for well over a year, and I just started using it within like the last month or two, and I'm kicking myself in the behind because I'm like, why didn't I start using this much sooner? It is such a convenient tool. You can slow cook and pressure cook and saute. It has like a million different things that you can do with it, but I've recently been loving the pressure cooking option, especially when it comes to meat, because it cooks it in such a short amount of time, and the chicken is either super soft and tender and just pulls apart easily, or sometimes when I do like beef stew, the meat is super tender and all within like 20-25 minutes. So I have a pack of chicken. I'm going to cut it up, get it into the Instant Pot, and have it pressure cooking for 30 minutes. If you see, my stock pot back there, I am also doing my first pressure canning video, and I'm pressure canning black beans. So hopefully that works out for me. But I wanted to kind of multitask because it's gonna take a while for these beans to come up to boil. I'm doing like that parboil before canning them, and it's a really big pot of beans. It's gonna take a while. So I figured I might as well get the chicken in the Instant Pot and have two things going for me at the same time while I work on my pita dough, because I know that one has to rest for a little bit and double in size and all that. So yeah, let me get the chicken in the Instant Pot. We'll do the pita bread together and then chop up all of the veggies that I'm gonna put in the chicken salad, just so that everything is prepped and ready to go. I'm really excited for this one. I've been craving chicken salad for over a week now, so super excited. So my chicken is not fully thawed out. They're still pretty frozen, but that's the beauty of the pressure cooker. It'll cook it up just fine. I've never had an issue with it, so not that big of a deal. I am just cutting off any funky little bits that I don't like and then cutting them in half, because these are pretty big chicken breasts. I think I'm gonna keep it simple and just season it with a little bit of salt and pepper, because I want to add in, let me stop waving this around. I want to add in all of my seasonings at the end when I shred it up. And I did make some homemade mayo, and I followed a copycat recipe for Duke's mayonnaise, which is my favorite, and it came out so good. So I'm very excited to taste the end product, because I think it's gonna be delicious. All right, thankfully these chicken breasts were pretty cleaned up. I am also going to add just a tiny bit of water at the bottom. I haven't taken the time to grind up the peppercorns, so I'm going to use my little handheld one. All right, good enough. And then adding in just half of a mug. That's good. I popped the lid on, making sure that the little toggle is facing upward. Okay, we're gonna do pressure cook high for, I'll do 30 minutes. That should be good. And there we go, that's it. Okay, so before, my beans are almost done and I'm going to pressure can them, but I wanna get this started so that it can rest and rise while I am working on other things. So for the pita bread recipe, I found it on TikTok. I will try to link it down below, but if not, I will definitely leave the recipe and the creator's name. But I have 1.5 cups of warm water. I have 1.5 teaspoons of yeast. I think this packet is a little bit more, so I'm gonna measure it out. Teaspoon. Adding in 1 teaspoon of sugar. And 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I'm gonna let this sit for a second and let the yeast and the sugar and all of that bloom. Guys, I feel like a multitasking queen over here. This is gonna go. I'm gonna skim the foam off of the beans while they boil. I will be right back. All right, guys, so I am back. I had to do another batch. I excluded the oil. I just did the water, yeast packet, and sugar, and there's a little bit of action going on there. I don't know if this yeast is really active, but it's the only one I have because I'm ordering some active dry yeast from Azure Standard. So I don't know. I guess we're just gonna try it out. And again, if it doesn't work out, then we're just having flatbread with chicken salad. I'm not sure what else to do. It's been sitting for a little over 5 minutes. I don't know. I don't think this yeast is super good, but I don't have anything else on hand. So we'll go with it. We'll see what happens. So we're doing a tablespoon of olive oil to this, about a teaspoon of salt. That should be it. The recipe calls for 3 1/4 cup of flour, so that's what I'm gonna add in. We're gonna mix it into a dough ball and then let it rise for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So hopefully it doubles in size. We will see, guys. I'm going to remove my rings so that way I can get in here with my hands. All right, I finished kneading my dough. I incorporated all of the flour, so hopefully it doubles in size. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. I'm gonna cover it with a kitchen towel, set it aside, and let it rest for about 2 hours. All right, guys, so I am back. I have the pita bread resting. It needs about another hour and a half. It is growing in size, so I think we should be okay. My chicken is done. It was on the keep warm setting for about 10 minutes or so, so I have it here in a bowl. I'm gonna bring the camera down in a second. I did not get a chance to prep any of the veggies because I was tied up with this pressure canning, so we're doing a few things at once. But I wanted to show you guys what I like putting in my chicken salads. These are super versatile. I have a little bit of red onion left that I wanna use up. I love using red onion in chicken salad. I also have some celery. We need to definitely use this up, so good timing. I have fresh dill. I have dried cranberries. I do also like putting pumpkin seeds, but I think I'll put those just into mine. And then for my sauce mixture, I like doing part sour cream and part mayonnaise. Now this mayonnaise, I picked it up. This is my homemade mayonnaise. This mayonnaise, I picked it up from Sprouts. It's the first time I ever tried it, and it was one of the worst things I think I've tried in a really long time. I don't know what it is about this foraging. I did not like it. So I kept the bottles because the bottles are really cute. I just need to take the time to get the sticker label off. But this is my own Duke mayonnaise copycat recipe that I'm gonna use. I also wanna use some of my pickled jalapenos and banana peppers from the garden and a little bit of green onion. So let's get to chopping. This is gonna come together super quickly, and then really I just have to wait on the pita breads. So that's gonna be like the longest part. So all I'm gonna do is take my tongs and start shredding this chicken up. And I've done this before with cubed chicken versus shredded chicken. Really just depends on what I'm in the mood for. But this seemed easier than cubing it up. And today, since I have some other kitchen projects going on, easy sounded best. And I'm making a decent amount here because I would like to have some leftovers for tomorrow's lunch. And I do like my chicken salad to be nice and cold. So this will be nice that I get to kind of pop it into the fridge for a little bit and let it cool while we work on the pita bread. I really hope those pita breads come out because it would be so nice to have like a little pocket to stuff, and you know, it's like a handheld sandwich. So this is completely shredded. I'm gonna pop this into my freezer for just a few minutes to speed up the cooling process while we chop up our veggies. Yeah, these organic ones, they get really wilty pretty fast. I've only had these in my fridge for about a week and they're kind of wilty, but it's okay. I'm gonna leave this part here. I'm gonna wash it up and then put it in my deep freezer. I have a bag back there with some onion scraps, carrot scraps, and celery because I need to pressure can some chicken stock. So that'll be for that. Let me wash these really quick. And let me grab a bowl so that I have somewhere to kind of put everything as I'm chopping it up. Should have grabbed out my larger cutting board, but that's okay. About that much and do half of it. I really love dill. It's one of my favorite herbs. Currently not growing any. I do have a bunch of dried dill from last year's garden. Was it last year or the year before? I dehydrated it. So I'm gonna add a good amount of dill. And I'll keep this around because I might add a little bit more. Let me throw my kitchen scraps out, bring out the chicken, and we'll put all of this together in just a second. I don't exactly have any measurements. I kind of just toss things in and adjust as I go, but I'm using about half of the container of sour cream, and this is a 16-ounce container. Now this is 9.2 fluid ounces and I was able to fill it up. So I'm not sure how much of this I'm gonna use, but we're just gonna add maybe half of it and then kind of take it from there. I might add a little bit more, but let me toss in everything first and then we'll get to that. I need something a little more heavy duty to mix this with. I'm gonna add in a good handful of these dried cranberries, maybe a little bit more. And a little bit more of this mayonnaise. That's honestly one of the best homemade mayonnaise I think I've ever made. I will make sure to link the recipe for that down below. Let me just add the rest of it in. There's not much left in here anyway. You could also substitute the sour cream for some Greek yogurt if you wanted to add in a little extra protein. I'm completely out of Greek yogurt, that's why I'm not using it, but either or works. I think it needs a little salt, pepper, but I definitely want to put a little bit more dill in it. But I feel like it needs like a little kick of something. I do have some pepperoncinis in the fridge that I used for a recipe yesterday. So I might add a little bit of pepperoncinis with the juice of the pepperoncinis, and I think that'll give it that kick that I'm kind of looking for. I really don't feel like chopping more dill up, so I'm just gonna break it apart with my hands. So these are the ones, they're sliced golden Greek pepperoncinis from Jeff's Garden. They're really good. Let me add some of the juice and a few pepperoncinis. So about that much. Try another one. Adding in just a little bit more black pepper and a little bit more salt. It needs like a little tang, and I was hoping that the pepperoncini would help, but this is just a little white distilled vinegar. Okay, I think that's really good. Come taste it, babe. I'm gonna give my husband a bite. I'm trying to grab a little bit of everything. Tell me if it needs any more salt or like a little bit more vinegar. It's good like that? Mm-hmm. Tastes really good. All right, so I think this is gonna be delicious inside of a homemade pita bread, maybe with a little bit of romaine lettuce. I do have some of that, so I might chop some up and put a little romaine lettuce in that too. We'll see. But what I'm gonna do with this is cover it, put it in the fridge, and we will come back when it's time to cut up our pita dough into little pitas, shape them, the whole shebang. We'll come back to that in just a second. I think I have maybe like another 45 minutes or so left of that. In the meantime, I'm gonna take another bite and put it in the fridge and then clean up, and we'll come back in a second. All right, guys, it is time. She grew. Okay, so it's time to shape these babies out. I'm gonna dust my counter with some flour. I just finished cleaning off my counter, so I'm gonna dust it with flour first. Let me pour that much. Now this dough feels kind of sticky. Like, is it supposed to be that way? I don't know, never done this before. So let me knead it for a little bit, see if that'll help with the stickiness. That feels a little bit better. I just added a little flour on the surface and on the top of it, and just gonna knead it for a few minutes. From the video that I saw, it's okay if it's tacky, but it shouldn't be sticking to the counter or sticking onto, coming off on your hands. So, wearing black while you're working with flour is not the smartest thing, but that's okay. All right, I think she's good. So let me get my little bench scraper so that I can divide it into 8. And then with the 8, we're gonna roll them out, and I'm going to put them on a different baking sheet that I have here. These are still kind of sticky. Yeah, these are still sticky, so I'm not sure. We're gonna go with it and see where we end up. I mean, this could turn out wonderful, or this could turn out to be a disaster. I am not sure yet. I guess because I've never made pita bread before, so I'm like, is this supposed to be sticky like this? I don't know. I'm also going to dust the sheet that these are gonna be resting on. I'm gonna dust it with some flour really quick. While these are resting, I am just going to put some damp paper towel over it because I don't want them to form a skin or dry out. So we're gonna leave that there. And this is what I'm using. It's just my old pizza pan. There we go. And as I roll them out and make them, I will put them on that baking sheet and then cover them. I do need to get a smaller rolling pin, but for now, this will do. The dough is super soft, so feels great. So hopefully it just comes out right. I mean, regardless, we're eating whatever comes out of this with that chicken salad. Either way, we're gonna eat this. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, bread is bread. Even if it doesn't come out the way that you want it to, it normally still tastes really good. All right, so I'm gonna roll them out to about 5-6 inches. They don't have to be super duper big, about that big. So I'm gonna transfer this over onto that sheet and then cover it with a towel, because we need to let that rest for 20 minutes. Once I'm done with all of these, I will put the baking sheet that I'm gonna cook them on into the oven, because you need to heat it up all together. So preheat the oven with the baking sheet in there so that the baking sheet is nice and hot when you throw these on. And it looks like they cook, according to the instructions, they cook in about 3 minutes, or technically 6 minutes, 3 minutes on each side. So dust a little here, dust a little there. It's always so crazy to me how you can use the same, pretty much the same ingredients, but come out with so many different things just depending on the technique and the rest time. And if you add a little bit more of this versus a little bit more of that, it's just so interesting to me. So second pita is done. Going to put it on the baking sheet. So I'm gonna repeat this process and I will come back to you guys once I have all of them rolled out. All right guys, so we're back. These have been resting for about 20 minutes or so. That's what they're looking like. I have the baking sheet in the oven and I have it set to 500. So I'm gonna take the first two, we're gonna toss them in, give them 3 minutes on each side, flip them, and hopefully come out with really good pita pockets. I am gonna take another clean kitchen towel and have it on top of the stove so that once they come out, I place them in there, keep them covered and nice and warm, and hopefully we'll have some pita pockets because I'm getting hungry. I really don't know about these guys because they're like a little droopy. Whoa. No. Oh gosh, I don't know. That one might be a test. So that first pita pocket, I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about that one because it was stuck to the other one, and when I went to pull it, it kind of stretched out a bit, so that's quite all right. Oh, one of them is puffing up. So the one, I think you can see it from there, that one is puffing up. So the other one is starting to puff up. It's a little bit wonky. That's my tester one, that's okay. But I'm so excited, that one's puffing up. Yay! I think we're gonna have pitas. All right, that has about another 45 seconds or so. Yeah, the other pita is kind of rising in certain areas and kind of not rising in other areas. I'm at 301. 301 subscribers. Timer off. This poor one did not turn out. what she's looking like. Next batch going in. There we go. So this one looks beautiful. Pump that in there. And this one is more like a flatbread. I don't know what I did wrong, but it's quite all right. I don't know if you guys can tell, one of them is rising pretty evenly, and this one, there's like that little area there that's kind of flat. I have an idea as to why I think that happened, but I'll share with you guys in a second. Let me flip these. All right, guys, so I have the last two in the oven. I'm just waiting to flip them. So some of these came out like actual pitas. They puffed up beautifully, evenly, and they're like actual pitas. I'm just waiting for that one to come down. Some of them turned out to be flat. This one is kind of puffed up on one side, but then flat on the other. Two of them were just completely flat. So I did taste one of the flat ones. They taste delicious. It tastes like a pita bread, and I would just make it like a handheld, you know, and just have it that way. But I'm thinking what happened is once I rolled them out and I laid them down, I should have put them on parchment paper and floured the parchment paper so that way they were easy to get off of it, and also made sure that they weren't touching, because some of them were touching and the dough is kind of sticky. So by the time I went to put them in the oven, I had to kind of peel them apart and separate them. And I noticed that the ones that I had to touch a little bit more and pull them apart and reshape it just a little bit, like I didn't touch it excessively, but I think just messing with it a little bit is what caused it to not rise in the oven. This is just my guess. If you guys have made pita bread before, please let me know in the comments down below if you know what I did wrong. So my little my little pita breads and flatbreads. So I'm gonna separate my little pita pockets. These came out good. This one is good. I think this one is good. This one is the one that I tore a piece of it off. This thing is flat. So well, actually I have just two that are flat. I really don't know what I did wrong. Maybe I should try out another recipe. I don't know. You guys let me know. All I know is that they do taste good. And like I said before, with bread products, unless you forget to add salt, I really think like that's the only time that it might not be salvageable, because it needs a little bit of salt in it in order for it to have some sort of flavor. But even if it doesn't come out right, you can still eat it. That's the timer. Let me flip it one sec. Could it be my oven temperature? I have it at 500. That's what the recipe said. I don't know. So you guys let me know in the comments down below. I think these are gonna have really nice pockets. This one, and this is a flatbread. So I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments down below. But I'm gonna set a little plate up for me and my husband, and I will come back and show you what that looks like in a second. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if we have a pocket. Yay! We have a pocket. Yay! Oh, that's exciting. Okay. All right, this is my husband's plate. I mean, I'm excited that we got some pita. Here, baby. Time for my pita. Let's see. Here we go. We got pockets. What do you think of it, babe? Delicious. Good? All right, guys, so this is what mine's is looking like. A little close up. I have some of my jalapeno hot sauce that I'm going to enjoy this with. And yeah, that's everything for today's video. Again, if you guys know what I did wrong, please let me know in the comments down below, because some of them came out beautifully. And then some of them came out, you know, not pita bread. It's like more like flatbread. So I don't exactly know. I have ideas of what I think I did wrong. I don't know. You guys let me know if you guys know. But yeah, that's everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will leave this recipe down below. It could just be user error and my technique is just off, but it tastes really good. So I will leave the recipe down below. I will try to link the video as well. And if I can't, then I'll put the creator's name down in the description box. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you here. And until the next one, bye friends.